You've been solving quadratic inequalities, and now it's time to finish with example 3. X plus 7 quantity squared is less than 0. The nice thing about this is it's already in factored form and it's in standard form because 0 is on one side of the inequality. So let's think about the related equation. X plus 7 squared equals 0. Now I can set each factor equal to 0 because we do actually have two factors. Or I can just think about the one factor x plus 7 equals 0, since all I really want is the point that I'm going to have to put on the graph. So for this one, I'm subtracting 7 from both sides, or you can think adding negative 7. So that gives me x equals negative 7. Now this is the first one where we only have one endpoint. So when I'm thinking about the number line, or while I'm drawing it, I want you to think about, am I going to have an open circle or a closed circle where I have negative 7? So here's negative 7, and we are going to have an open circle at negative 7. So this actually divides the number line into only two intervals. The one to the left of negative 7 and the one to the right of negative 7. So I'm actually, I'm going to put negative 8 in here. We're going to test the point negative 8, and then you know how I like to test 0 as my other point. So let's plug in negative 8 into my inequality and see if it makes a true statement. So I'm plugging in negative 8 for x plus 7 squared. Is that less than 0? Well, negative 8 plus 7 is negative 1 squared, less than 0. And when you square any negative number, no matter what it is, you're going to end up with a positive. So for this one, we have positive 1 is less than 0. So now you have 1, and you're asking, is that less than 0? No, it is not less than 0. So it creates a false statement. So we do not want to include any of the numbers to the left of negative 7. So now I'm going to test 0. I know it's further away from our endpoint, but it's still in the interval. And we're going to plug in 0 everywhere we have an x. So 0 for x plus 7 squared is less than 0. Well, this will give me 7 squared less than 0. Well, 7 squared is 49. Is that less than 0? No, it's not. So both of my intervals gave me false statements. So therefore, since none of the intervals work, we actually have no solution to this quadratic inequality. You can either write the words no solution or use the symbol for no solution. And if you think about it, go back up to our original inequality, we have an expression that is squared, and we're trying to find something that will work to make that value be less than 0. In other words, make it negative. Are we ever going to be able to square, whether it's positive or negative? Can we square a number and get a negative? No, we can't. So if you recognize that in the beginning, then you can just stop right there. But what we've done here is showed you how, going through the whole process, it shows you that none of those intervals will work.